Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are and whenever you're seeing this. Fans of sports, thank you for tuning in to another one of our videos. Today, we've got some news out of the NBA, and certainly something that will come as no surprise to Chicago Bulls fans. Lauri Markkanen is on the move. Earlier today, the Chicago Bulls engaged in a three-team deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Portland Trail Blazers. The first part of it was it was a sign and trade. So Markkanen is heading to the Cavaliers. Uh, Larry Nance will be headed to the Portland Trail Blazers, while the Chicago Bulls will receive Derrick Jones Jr. and 2 draft picks. Now, one of them is a protected first-round pick. It's lottery protected through 2028. If it does not convey by then, it goes to a second-round pick, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. And the other one is a second-round pick from the Cavaliers via the Denver Nuggets. Now, what does this mean for all the teams involved? Now, Bulls fans will know this. Lauri Markkanen came in with a lot of promise, a 7-footer, could seem to shoot, stretch the floor, very well, seemed to be a good player, and he was actually progressing well. Then, in my estimation, Jim Boylan happened, where he turned a guy who was actually able to do a lot of things from an offensive standpoint, able to score in a few ways, particularly in the mid-range and somewhat in the post, and basically just told him, you just shoot threes. That's what you do. And it really seemed to destroy his confidence, and even after Boylan left, it just seems like that he was never the same player. He averaged 13.6 points per game and shot over 40% from 3. But ultimately, he ended up losing his starting job and actually was coming off the bench toward the second half of the season. So the Cavaliers, I don't know, it could be a chance for him to revitalize his career, a fresh start with a young team that's looking to build, and perhaps he can turn into the player that the Bulls thought they were getting when they took him with the 7th overall pick following the Jimmy Butler trade. Additionally, that may mean the Kevin Love clock is back on, because as we saw last year with him, it's obvious the frustration of playing in Cleveland. You know, with that LeBron, Kyrie triumvirate over that particular run, he was the last man standing. And since he's, been there, he's been hurt. It seems like he hadn't played in forever. And last year, when he did play, there was that infamous thing where he just slapped the ball off the inbounds pass. And he just really looks frustrated. He looks like he just wants to get, pardon my French, the hell out of there. And maybe with acquiring Markkanen, who can, at least from a shooting standpoint, provide some of those things that Kevin Love can still do. Perhaps they can look to move on, because his number's high. I know he signed a 4-year, $100 million deal. And so they may look to move on from him to see what they can get maybe on the trade market, just to move on from him, because it's obvious that particular relationship has run its course. In Larry Nance Jr., I think the Blazers are getting younger and more mobile on their front line. Nurk does bring a lot to the table, but being fleet of foot and athletic is not one of them. He'll bring that, and also, with the uncertainty of Zach Collins, who has loads of talent. But one of the issues is you have to be available to display and put that talent toward the betterment of your team. And, of course, he was out last year with the shoulder deal. and just a myriad of injuries, it seems like. And sometimes being available is your best attribute. And Nance will be more available than Collins has shown the ability to be. So there's an insurance policy potentially there with that. The Bulls are getting another athletic wing in Derrick Jones Jr., who can somewhat play defense, though at times in Portland it doesn't. It may not have appeared that way, which it seemed that something about him rubbed Terry Stotts the wrong way, which is why and Blazer fans will tell you he all but fell out of the rotation for large stretches of the season this year. But he's young. He's still relatively young. He's very athletic, and he'll mix in, I think, well with Lonzo and Caruso and Zach LaVine and all those guys. So I think that could be a solid pickup for the Bulls. And of course, they're gonna get 2 draft picks. And I think the main reason for them wanting to get those draft picks, because as you all know, or you know what, let me not just assume that, as you may or may not know, that there's a tampering investigation going on with the Bulls as this relates to the Lonzo Ball deal that occurred literally the moment free agents started. That deal was completed, which I find it ironic that they decided to nail the Bulls for tampering, considering some of the things that goes on in free agency. And this is not to pick on these guys and that team, these teams, but it just has to be said. We got to keep it a buck. If they are not going to investigate the Lakers and the Pelicans for the Anthony Davis deal, then no team at no time should ever be investigated for tampering, because that was as overt and obvious as you could possibly make it. But they've decided they're going to, I guess, try to make a run and try to make an example out of the Bulls. That investigation should be wrapping up, and the decision on what, if any, sort of punishment or ramifications the Bulls could be looking at, which would likely include some sort of giving up or forfeiture of draft picks. So it made sense for them in any deal that they engage in to try to get some picks to make up for any picks they may lose in this tampering investigation. So we'll see how these deals play out. I think it's kind of, I hate to say who won the trade, and the trade is not, it hadn't even been an hour yet. But it'll be interesting, I think, to see how some of these pieces will fit in with their teams going forward. But if you are a Cavaliers fan or a Bulls fan or a Blazers fan, I'd like to know, what are your thoughts on these trades? Are you happy about them? Do you think that these players that are now new additions to your team will be impact guys? Let us know in the comment section. Let's have a discussion about it. We did a short article about this on our website, sneakershoptalk.com. Be sure to definitely head over there. If you're into sports, sneakers, we got what you need. We, of course, like any other website, we post and update every single day. So definitely head over there. Also, check out some of our high quality and stylish wares at our store. The links to both will be in the description of this video. So, thanks for spending a few moments with us. We'll be back with new videos. If there's any other developments, we'll be on top of it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Tell the people that you love them. Peace.